Hello, David Kenworthy here again. It's the 22nd of the 9th, 2021. And we're going to look at the Giza Great Pyramid and the modern metre, the French metre. And we're going to use 39.37 inches because that's the simplest version to use for this calculation. There is another version that I talked about in the last presentation, but I've decided to use this because it divides a lot easier. So we can apply Berriman's system to this metre because we know there are 54 digits in there, and that's the digit, the Berriman digit, in the modern French metre. So we know from the new metrology that the metre is 54 digits per Berriman. And we know that using Berriman, the Berriman digit coming from the modern French metre is that. So we multiply that by that to get that. And we can see that we're multiplying that by 39.37 divided by 54. So the 54s cancel out and we get 39.37. And we've used that method in each of these cells. And we know from the new metrology that the yard, the English yard, when the English foot is 12 inches, the English yard is 49.090909 digits, which is 54 divided by 1.1. It's there. We know the megalithic yard is 54 divided by 1.2, and that it's there. So we get 45 digits in a megalithic yard. And this has been proved by other metrologists as well as myself. And it's starting to bear fruit, this relationship. Now we can see that it works perfectly. And then we work out the geodetic cubit, and we find that that's 45 divided by 1.584, which is that in digits. Then we can work out the foot, which is the metre divided by 3.3. The Giza base is 50,000 digits per Berriman. And the mile, the English mile, is 86,400 digits. Now this is such a big deal. And the geodetic mile is 100,000 digits, and the Earth's circumference is 2160, and all those zeros after it. So we're applying this Berriman digit that we're deriving from the French metre. And we find that the Giza system, or the system of the Great Circle, is giving us this Earth's circumference, and it's 40,000 metres of 39.37, and there are reasons for this. Now this is the French system, and the French mile is 5249.333 imperial feet. And that's 86400 multiplied by the digit, which is 39.37 divided by 54, and we get 622992 imperial inches in the French mile, the modern French mile. So we're not comparing like with like here. We're comparing the same number of digits, but the French system is scaled down against the imperial system, and this is the imperial system at Giza. We've got this metre, we've got this yard, which we know is correct, the 36 inches for an English yard. We've got this megalithic yard, this is the base 100 cubit, and this is the English foot of 12 inches. And it gives all these figures. We get 1584,000,000 inches when we have that number of digits in the Earth's circumference. This is the Great Circle that everything is measured against by the ancients. Everything is scaled against this 25,000 miles. And when we scale this metre as the base, then this divided by this gives this scaling factor that we're using, which is the length of the French foot, and that's it in inches. And when we use all those numbers, this is what's happening. Because Berriman's ancient system is scaled against 10 million metres in the quadrant arc, then there are 5280 French feet in the French mile. So let's have a look again. There's the French mile. It's 16992 inches. There's the French foot in inches. If we divide that into that, we get that, 5280. That's the French foot in imperial feet. That's the scaling factor. If we divide that into that, we get 5280. So it's D14 divided by D12 is 5280. We'll get the same if we go now. This is something for French people to think about because they don't know this, and we can only find this by using the Giza model. Excuse me. So let's have a look at what I'm saying next. Oops. There are 5280 French feet in the French mile. We've covered that. The system is simply a scaled down version of the imperial system using 39.37 divided by 39.6, as I've just said. The ancient metre is 39.6 imperial inches as discovered by Professor Tom at the Stonehenge Aubrey Circle. 39.6 times 272 is 10771.2 imperial inches. Divided by 12, we get 897.6 feet. This is 330 megalithic yards and 132 megalithic rods. This is what Tom discovered. There's no doubt about it. It's written and recorded in his books. And this is the metre that we're using as base 100. And when we do, we find that the French metre resolves itself into all these measures. So we've got a French foot, which is less than an English foot. We've got 54 digits in a metre. We've got these number of digits in a yard. And these are all the equivalent units to these here, scaled down by using that divided by that. And it's something to really think about, because this is suggesting that this Giza model that is part of the new metrology is working perfectly. We're getting this fantastic unit here, the Berriman digit. We look at the digits that Berriman has given us. He's got 0.729, which we looked at yesterday, and 0.729166666 recurring. And look at where the French digit is sitting. It's right in the middle of the two. So it's perfectly calculated by the French, because the ancients have got this scaled model that is giving us the Earth circumference based on a base 100 great circle of 25,000 miles. When we scale it down, we find that the two meters that Berriman has given us, one's 39.375 inches, the other one's 39.366, and the French one sits as 39.37. It's fantastic. This work by Berriman is something that we should be really aware of, and nobody knows anything about it. It's been it's been trashed by modern metrologists. A lot of modern metrologists have said, well, he's had a good go, but it's not right what he's done. He's got the length of his Roman foot wrong, he's got this wrong, he's got that wrong. Everything's wrong until we actually start to have a really deep look at what Berriman's done, and then we find that it's not Berriman that's got it wrong, it's the metrologists that are dissing Berriman's work that have got it wrong. So that's it for now. Thank you.